What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a video on how to remove your differential drop if you have one installed on your 07 through 21 Toyota Tundra. So this is my 2016 Toyota Tundra. It's been lifted since I basically bought it brand new 9 years ago. It's got almost 70,000 miles on it, I believe. So I've already took off the skid plate. So first is, how would you know if you have a diff drop? So the first is you can look and you can see, I'll go over there, you can see underneath the truck, you can see the diff mounts are dropped. But also, if you don't have a skid plate, sometimes that's a telltale sign you have a diff drop. Because some kits, I remember when the second gen Tundra first came out, some kits didn't even include skid plate spacers. They would just drop the diff and then delete the skid plate. Or, in my case, I have the spacers, which you can see. Just drop the diff, or drop the skid plate enough to clear the diff drop. I believe my kit is a Toyota kit, because I originally had the 6112s, the Bilstein 6112s installed on this truck, and I did the diff drop at the same time. And I believe I bought the Toyota one because it was the highest rate and it came with the skid plate spacers. So let me go show you underneath the truck the diff drop. Alright, so here we are under the truck. You can see these are your diff drop spacers. Most kits, typically there's just one, and then the second one right there. You can see it drops your differential down to potentially help with your CV axles. So let me show you. Here's my CV axle with the diff drop in. This is the driver's side. Here's the passenger side. I'll show you once we get it removed, but there's a lot of videos on YouTube that have came out against the diff drop. And it makes sense the more I've listened to them. So as you can see, Toyota engineered this front differential to be smooth on the bottom, so it didn't hang down. So by adding this diff drops, you're reducing your ground clearance by that much because you're dropping the diff. And then by doing that, you slide underneath here. You're also changing this pinion angle. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of tilted up now because the front of the diff is tilted down with the diff drop. So again, I've had the diff drop for 9 years now, about 70,000 miles. I've had no issues with it. However, since I'm doing all my own maintenance now, it's a real pain that these here are 10 mils, these here are 12 mils, and then this one, and this one, because of the diff drop, are 13 mils. So that's really one of the factors for me to delete this diff drop. Is I want to go with an aftermarket skid plate, and it'll tuck it up closer to the chassis. Also, I'm gonna get a tape measure and measure these diff drops, but it looks like about 1 inch to me, probably less than that maybe. But I'm going to gain 1 inch of ground clearance by removing these and pushing the skid plate up against this cross member. In comparison, I'm running 35s now. If I bumped to 37s, I would gain 1 inch of clearance right here, which is basically the same as me removing this diff drop. So let me go show you the new hardware I ordered from Toyota. Alright, so on top, this is one bolt and spacer from the Toytech diff drop. I had it on my old 2011, and it was removed when I installed the 7-inch BDS drop bracket lift kit. Here is the new bolt you'll need from Toyota. You'll need 2 of these. Part number is 90105-A0188, and you'll need 2 nuts, which is 90178-A0047. Let me just put these side by side so you can see. height difference here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this removed. I'm going to measure this real quick, and I'll tell you what size this hardware is, and I'll tell you what size this factory hardware is. Alright, so on the Toytech hardware, the bolt and nut are both 19 millimeters. On the OEM Toyota hardware, this nut is about a 3/4 or 19 millimeter, and then the top is a 20. And then the spacer is roughly an inch thick. Alright, it's a little hard to see, but I snuck a wrench on the passenger side one up through here. You can see 19's held on there. I'm going to use the Milwaukee to take off this bolt down here. Rusty. Alright, get this other one off now. Kind of hard to snake that 9 mil in there. This one's gonna be harder. This side was kind of a pain, but not too bad. All corroded though, you can see. This bolt. Milwaukee for the win. I don't plan on it coming off. Okay, get the other one started. I'm going to snug this up and then I'll torque it to spec here in a second. Alright, I'm gonna find the torque spec real quick. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I looked up the torque spec. It says 83 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna torque these down real quick. I ended up using the 19mm for all the bolts, for the OEM and the Tortec one. Just FYI. I know I said, I think 21 or something earlier. Just to clarify. Where am I going to look? Alright, my final step, I'm going to paint pin everything. Then I can verify later if everything is, if anything moved or if it's still torqued spec. This driver's side one's kind of hard to get to though. Alright, so here it's all done. Here's a view of my driver's side CB. I can't tell much of a difference from what it was before. Here's under the truck, you can see it really tucked it back up. With the diff drop delete. Back on the passenger side CB. Let's look at that U-joint back here. Trying to get that a better angle too. Alright guys, I got it all buttoned back up. You can see the skid plate's back installed. And it's flat underneath. I spilled some oil during my oil change. Don't judge me, but smooth. All the way back. Now I want to get a different skid plate. That's on my list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you.